My name is Bryan Simonson. I am a 13-year resident of Bellevue, Washington. I am a small business owner, and I specialize in business intelligence analysis. I have spent the last 14 years identifying patterns in data to uncover business opportunities. I've made a career out of solving problems using empirical evidence and sound reasoning, and I love what I do. I'm a libertarian because once a year, right after the calendar rolls over, I have to do my taxes. And every year, when I look at how much of my money has been silently taken from me, I have to ask myself, is my life better off now today than it was last year because of this? Was my money, which was taken by force, better spent on bailouts, subsidies, and all manner of crony corporatism? Of course not. I believe that I am a more suitable judge of how to spend my money than anybody else. Likewise, the same goes for you. Nobody, even somebody in a fancy suit, knows how to spend your money better than you or knows better about the needs of your family. We all work hard for that money, which brings me to why I'm running for state senate in Washington's 41st district. Last September, Washington implemented tolls on I-405's HOV lanes, even though my opponent, Steve Litzo, sponsored a bill that raised our gas taxes to the second highest in the country. And they're slated to go up again in July. Compliments of Steve Litzo again. Because of him, we now have double taxation, first at the gas pump, then on the tolls. Where is all that money going? What are we getting in return for our money? We were promised faster commutes, safer freeways, and funding for future projects to reduce congestion on I-405. Your money, the money that is being taken from you again and again at the gas pump and on the freeway, is doing the exact opposite. Let's say that again. The money that gets repeatedly taken from you, ostensibly to pay for reduced congestion, now has gotten you worse than nothing. That is correct. That is correct. You will sit in traffic longer. You will have a higher risk of accident. And you might be thinking, now wait a minute, Bryan, how is that possible? How could this possibly have happened? But I will show you, as the data shows, it's true. The promise of reduced congestion and safer travels was an illusion that they sold to the people. An independent study released in February shows that traffic conditions slowed down to an average speed of 14 miles an hour. At that speed, it adds between 20 and 25 minutes each way between Linwood and Bellevue if you drive the entire corridor. But why? How did this actually happen? How did it slow down? It happened for two reasons. First, despite the promise to add an additional general purpose lane, they added zero. Second, by requiring a third occupant, they kicked 80% of existing carpoolers out of the HOV lanes. And as it turns out, when you cram fewer people into the same space, traffic is going to slow down a lot. So we've already covered how, even though the state is double taxing you again and again at the gas pump and on the tolls, your generosity is being rewarded with commutes that are slower by nearly half an hour each way. But surely conditions are safer, right? Wrong again. According to statistics from the Washington State Patrol, accidents are up year over year by 35%. Because, as it turns out, cramming more people into fewer lanes means there's less margin for error. To recap, that means you are paying double taxes for a slower commute. And now, you're 35% more likely to have an accident. But hey, at least the tolls are helping to fund projects for reducing future congestion. Right, guys? Right? This is where they rub salt into the wounds. The majority of the tolls go directly into the pockets of the contractors operating the toll infrastructure. That's right. More than half of the tolls go exactly nowhere. By comparison, the gas taxes, whether you're a fan or not, they have an implementation cost of only 1%, of less than 1% actually. So, for those keeping score, that means you're getting double taxed for a slower commute with 35% higher risk of accident. And all it does is make executives at Schneider Electric rich. Do I even need to get into the effect on carbon emissions with millions of cars spending 25 more minutes each way idling on the freeway? This is a bad deal for the people of Washington State. If you're a commuter, you should not accept the state robbing you of an additional hour every day. If you're a parent, driving your kids on the freeway at 35% higher risk to your children's lives is unacceptable. If you're an environmentalist, you should not accept the increase in emissions. If you're in favor of responsible government, you should not accept more than half of this money going directly into corporate pockets. And if you are a citizen of Washington State, you should never, ever accept double taxation at the gas pump and on the tolls. This tolling scheme passed Steve Litzo's committee twice. I find it extremely hard to believe that it was an accident. I believe it was on purpose to work on behalf of big business instead of whom you are supposed to work for, the people of this beautiful state. I know that you are looking to get the corruption out and someone to work on your behalf elected. And that is also what we as libertarians work diligently to do. If, as a state senator, Steve Litzo was honest and ran on a platform that said, I, Steve Litzo, plan to raise gas taxes, slow down your commute, and reduce safety on the freeway by implementing a toll to make you pay more just to give the money to crony corporatism and benefit the people not at all, would you vote for him? I wouldn't. Of course not. He fooled us once, shame on him. He will not fool us again and put the shame back on us. My name is Bryan Simonson, and I'm running for state senate to end corporate favoritism and to correct the wrong that was blatantly dropped on our laps. This is one of many issues that must be dealt with so that we can live a higher quality of life and get liberty where it belongs, back to the people. For a better tomorrow, vote Bryan Simonson.